I'm here today with Matthew Rayback, author of Bad Baby Names, The Worst True Names Parents Saddle Their Kids With, Emma Roy, I'm a Pig, Major Nut. These names can't be real.
In fact, they are real, or as real as we can tell. All of these names show up on U.S. Census records. So that means that at least somebody told the census taker that these names are real.
So where did you come with the idea of making this book of Bad Baby Names?
Well, at Ancestry.com there is a department called Digital Preservation. These are the folks who go through old documents and index the information inside. And as they were indexing, they came across a number of wacky names like Achu or Grimwood Death, or names like this that just seem surreal. And they kept a list of these names, and that was sort of the beginning, the origin of this book.
So what makes a bad baby name?
Well, it's probably different from person to person. For me, bad baby names fall into a number of categories. There are the ones that are obvious names like Fanny Whiffer. Clearly that's a bad baby name. Names that just sound funny. Then there are a lot of names to me that I think were interesting or cool, like Arc Red Powers. I think just is a cool name. It's a cool name and has a funny sound, so I think that fits into the bad baby name category. There were those that described things like Pants Agers. That's a name that was just a descriptive word that you wouldn't normally associate with being a name.
You went into a little the history behind some names. Were there any historical facts you found that surprised you about names?
Yes, there were a number. Some were pretty obvious. I think we talked a little bit about the name Fanny, Fanny Whiffer. We found a lot of Fanny names: Fanny Whiffer, Fanny Allbutt, Fanny names that to us are hilarious. But at the time, Fanny was just a pet name of the name Frances, and it wasn't until World War II actually that the name Fanny took on its meaning today of the backside or the behind. Another great one from the book is the fact that Mary, the name Mary, used to be almost as popular as a boy's name as it was a girl's name. So in the book there are some great examples of men named Mary and things like that.
Now, the book is divided up, or part of the book is divided up into categories, and some of them are really outrageous. I mean, people named after food, people named after clothes. What were some of your favorite categories, or some of the wildest categories?
I think probably some of the most incredible categories for me were the names of people or the groups of names of people named after terrible things. One of my favorites was the 7 Deadly Sins. We found all of the 7 Deadly Sins except gluttony. I have no idea why gluttony is not okay when avarice or envy are. One of my favorite names from that list is Wrath Gordon. There were plenty of people named Hell or Devil or Satan or Lucifer. To me, it's hard to understand why someone would name their child that, but they at least told the census taker that they had named their child that.
So did you ever come up with any reasons why somebody might name their child Pickle Parker or Post Office?
I think that there must have been something at the time. Having had children of my own and having had to come up with names for them, I know that it's hard to think of names sometimes, and sometimes you just pick what happens to be nearby. One of the names in the book of a person that was a friend of my brother, her name is actually JN42D, but she was named after a plane that her dad liked, and so you can never really tell what things pique a person's curiosity and makes them name their kids that.
So do you think you'll be naming any of your own children after names from the book?
Well, I thought about it, but my wife put her foot down and said no.
If you're gonna pick one, what would you use?
I would be tempted to name my child Excalibur. Excalibur was a name that surprisingly didn't show up in the census, and I think that's a shame. It's a shame that nobody was named Excalibur, so I would think about that.
Where could you find the book? Where can people find the book?
well, people can find the book anywhere they can buy a book, pretty much. They definitely at the big bookstores, Borders, Barnes & Noble, Amazon. They can also buy it from Ancestry.com at the Ancestry store, places like that.
Well, thanks for your time today, Matt. We've enjoyed reading bad baby names around the office and have gotten a lot of laughs. It's a hilarious collection.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.